Trump orders full military takeover of LA, Chicago, Baltimore, Boston. EBS armed for national reveal. By Ethan White. This is a military operation. The mission is domestic stabilization. The targets are known. The chain of command is secured. And the Commander-in-Chief, President Donald J. Trump, is not waiting for permission. We are in the middle of the largest domestic takedown of criminal political infrastructure in U.S. history. And it's not being televised, because the networks are part of it. The cities are being sanitized. The rats are running. The military is deployed. And no one in power wants you to know what's actually happening behind the fences. Read between the lines. The recapture of the Republic has begun. Trump didn't just wake up and decide to deploy the military into Chicago, Baltimore, and Boston. This plan has been running under the surface since 2020, when the military continuity of government, COGS, was quietly activated after the stolen election. Trump never left command. He stepped back publicly while the White Hat military alliance, led by Space Force, NSA, and Marine Intelligence, prepared the real counteroffensive. The so-called peaceful transition to Biden was a strategic feint. Trump never handed over the real nuclear codes. The doomsday planes continued flying. Cheyenne Mountain remained locked. And the D.C. fencing wasn't for an inauguration. It was a containment barrier. Everything since then has been theater. Now it's action. What they don't want you to know about the Chicago Blitz. As of September 3, 2025, Joint Task Force 179 has boots on the ground across South and West Chicago. These are Title X troops, not weekend National Guard. That means they're federalized under direct presidential command, not beholden to any state governor. That also means rules of engagement, ROE, allow for lethal force. If encounters involve organized armed resistance, which the cartel-backed factions in the city are known for. Over the last 48 hours, signal jamming towers have gone active across Chicago's designated red zones. These are the same mobile Stingray systems used in Iraq to flush out insurgent networks. Detention hubs have been activated at Midway Logistics Center and decommissioned FEMA zones, now under military jurisdiction. These facilities are not being used for immigrants. They're for traffickers, cartel assets, and compromised city officials. Biometric scans are being used at roadblocks. These are DoD-developed iris and gait analysis devices originally tested in Afghanistan. U.S. Marshals are operating under sealed indictments issued months ago. Most of the targets are not drug dealers. They are city contractors, NGOs, nonprofit execs, and political aides tied to multi-billion-dollar laundering networks. 10 Cook County judges have been flagged for arrest under sealed documents that cite treason, RICO violations, and child exploitation cover-ups. This is not policing. This is war zone stabilization. Why Baltimore? It's the hub. Baltimore is a human trafficking node and has been for decades. It has the second highest volume of missing children per capita in the country. And it's not due to poverty. The port infrastructure in Baltimore has long been used by UN relief containers that never get inspected. But beginning last week, joint task forces from CBP and Space Force Command launched real-time satellite tracking of container ships entering Baltimore's port. At least 3 NGO-run child housing centers were raided this week. Media blackout. No coverage. Sources inside the NSA confirm multiple tunnels and biometric experimentation equipment were seized, including child-sized MRI machines, hormone delivery racks, and UNICEF-tagged narcotics. Local politicians screamed for help with housing. What they really wanted was for the feds to stay out of the basements. They didn't. Boston, the digital throne of the enemy. Most think Boston is just a historical city. That's naive. In 2023, Boston was designated as one of the first CBDC test cities, with biometric digital ID enforcement pilots run through public transportation, schools, and city housing. These were never test programs. They were rollout models for mass control under the World Economic Forum's Great Reset. Now, as of last week, Army Cyber Command has embedded within MIT's research backbone to trace where that tech ended up. Over 41 university-funded labs are now under investigation for collaborating with CCP-based research firms, especially around neuroimplant technology under DARPA's old Neural Engineering System Design program, quietly resurrected through Boston-based subcontractors. In plain terms, Boston was set to become the digital capital of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and Trump shut the door on it. Who's really running this? Let's be clear. This isn't just Trump making speeches. He is the commander-in-chief of a military alliance that includes Space Force, running global comms, orbital surveillance, and satellite data tracking; Marine Intelligence, handling black ops, disappearances, and underground network mapping; Delta Force, JSOC teams, confirmed active in all 3 target cities; NSA, now in direct coordination with private decryption labs to unlock 15-plus terabytes of encrypted trafficking and bribery files; Army Corps of Engineers, quietly erecting mobile justice facilities designed to process mass detainees under Haidadafin; military tribunal jurisdiction. Where are the tribunals? You're not seeing the tribunals on CNN because they're not being held in D.C., they're happening in Guam, Guantanamo Bay, expanded to handle Tier 1 elite targets; offshore vessels repurposed under Operation Hammer Justice; Ramstein AFB and Al Udeid Air Base for international targets caught outside the U.S. Steve, tribunals are also happening in or at Fort Worth, Alaska, Nevada, Alcatraz, the secret facility beneath Montauk, New York; Guam, Diego Garcia, Indian Ocean; Thule Air Base, Greenland; Pine Gap, Australia; Guatemala, Puerto Rico, Honduras, Iceland, Spain's Santa Cruz Islands, Tierra del Fuego, Area 801, Antarctica. And yes, arrests have already happened. We're talking former mayors, DOJ officials, intelligence analysts turned traitors, NGO executives with ties to Epstein's old networks. Final phase. The broadcast. The Emergency Broadcast System, EBS, is tested, hardened, and ready. At the final phase, after these cities are cleared, a national broadcast will reveal what's been done and what was uncovered. It's not if, it's when. The target window is between October 10, 2025, when satellite lockdowns, international arrest warrants, and AI-powered evidence decryption systems will synchronize. This is the real reason the globalists are scrambling, launching false flags, pushing Trump the dictator headlines, and crying for UN intervention. They're not afraid of tyranny. They're afraid of justice. This is domestic military war against an entrenched, multi-generational globalist parasite class. Trump is not campaigning, he's commanding, and the takedown has begun. Share.